Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the show we like to call Brown's Latest. Why do we call it that? Because this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. Thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, who have subscribed to the channel, and to all of you who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section. Now, coming up on today's version of our little show, there's a list of coaches who are on the hot seat. It's out, hot off the presses. The question is ours on that list? The Titans are a mess. There's even more proof today, and it makes this game even more winnable against the Titans on Sunday. Come on, man, this is getting easier and easier the farther we get into the week. How about this? A Sports Illustrated reporter reveals why the team is starting to buy into Shadeur. All right. And then down in the viewer comment, Dylan Gabriel's girlfriend stirs the pot. Oh, gotta find out what's going on there. Holy moly. I don't know, but first thing first, we gotta talk about NFL coaches on the hot seat. CBS Sports put out their top five coaches on the hot seats. Of course, right away, I was like, okay, are you finally listening to me, CBS Sports? Are you hearing what I've been saying? Here's their list. Yes, they're listening. They got Pete Carroll 1. Pete Carroll's not going to survive the Raiders. He is too old and doesn't relate, and he's done. So they'll let him finish out this year, and then that'll be that. And they will draft a quarterback and move on. Jonathan Gannon with the Cardinals, they're a mess too. They don't have a quarterback because they had an undersized quarterback who was actually right-handed, and that didn't work out, which means when you draft an undersized left-handed quarterback, probably not going to work out. Guess what? It didn't. Raheem Morris from the Falcons. Yeah, they got a lot of talent, especially on offense, man. And that defense was balling out earlier in the year, but they can't get it going, man. Although their quarterback situation is sketchy too. Penix can't stay healthy, and the backup situation. Cousins is done. So then there's our guy, Kevin Stefanski. 3-9, 43-53 for his career. I mean, lots of guys go 10 games under 500 and keep their job after 6 years. Wait, no, actually, I don't think anybody really does, to be honest. He moved up one because he was fifth on their rankings, so he moved up one. The seat got hotter for him. They simply say Stefanski and general manager Andrew Berry each received extensions ahead of the 2024 season, and the Browns are 6-23 since that happened. So that's the kind of stuff that'll get you on a hot seat. The question is, will it get you fired? Because in my opinion, it should have happened a long time ago, a very long time ago. And I'm surprised he's lasted this long. But at least now the national media is starting to pick up on it, and hopefully, if that pressure keeps mounting, I still say Haslam needs to come out of hiding and explain this. Like, how the heck do these guys keep their jobs? The decisions, man. Like, we're getting clowned every week for his decisions. So, another thing that keeps happening, the Titans coach is under fire. And honestly, he makes a lot of the same stupid decisions that Kevin Stefanski makes. Now, this is their interim guy. His name is Mike McCoy. He took over when they fired Brian Callahan after 6 weeks. Now, you're telling me a coach was not getting wins and a team fired him? Is that what typically happens on a real NFL team? But it's a mess because it's a complete mistake because the team is already quitting on him. So this game just got even easier. The locker room, he's lost the locker room. It's fractured. They are calling him Mike. His name is Mike McCoy. They are calling him, he was their senior offensive advisor. And then now they made him interim head coach. And his name is Mike McCoy, but they call him Mike McCoward because he never wants to go for it. Even when like they had a couple situations last week, and even Cam Ward spoke out about it and said, "Yeah, we shouldn't be kicking field goals. We got to be going for it." And he wasn't the only one. The players are like, "Yeah, this guy. What do we have to lose?" Is what Cam Ward is. And he's like, we might as well go for it. I want to go for it. I want that. I want that. And Mike McCoward is what they're calling him. Only kicks field goals. So, well, we punt from the 29, Cam. If you're interested in something like that, you can have Stefanski if you want. It would rather. It's not a field goal; it's a punt. You'll also go for it from your own 33-yard line, but you won't get to run the quarterback sneak. Hopefully, you have a rookie tight end on your roster that you can have do that for you. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's probably not going to be a good fit because Cam's probably not going to be happy with that, Cam Ward. So, but yeah, they are not happy with this guy, and they are in complete shambles as they get ready to board a flight to the greatest city in the world, Cleveland, Ohio. But here's the other thing about this story that piqued my interest. A couple of names now that they're throwing out there, because you're not just going to bring in any head coach. You're going to bring in a head coach like us, like we've been talking about, with professional experience, preferably head coaching experience, like somebody we know named Jim Schwartz, who would be great if you ask me. But that's why John Gruden's name keeps coming up. But the other two names that came up, and they're trying to connect them to the Titans, whether or not they are connected, I think is Mike McCarthy, who we talked about. I mentioned him the other day. I don't think I'd really want him, but I've seen him on shows. I've watched it, and I think he wants to coach again. So of course, his agent. A lot of times the agents do this stuff so teams know that they're interested in coaching again, just so they'll contact them and say, "Hey, I heard you're thinking about the Titans," and he'd be like, "Oh, well, no, not really, but yeah, sure, I could coach for you." They do that with players, too. Players would have their agents do stuff, especially in a draft, like agents do that stuff. They put out stories so teams think teams are interested in them when who knows if they are or not. And then the other name, and this one is one that I was like, Matt Nagy. Remember he coached the Bears? Well, he's with Kansas City. He's their offensive coordinator, and he's off their Andy Reid tree. He's been with Andy Reid. He's an Andy Reid disciple. That's why the Bears took him. But he won 2 Super Bowls already with them. So he knows what it takes to get to a Super Bowl, and perhaps he made all of his mistakes in Chicago. Those are the guys I like, man. Let them make their mistakes as a rookie coach somewhere else, and then you get them on their second stint. And so that's another name now that has surfaced, not only for the Titans, but I don't know, man. It's like my list seems to be short. I want Schwartz. I would, Gruden is very intriguing because he's from here. Oh my gosh, the videos he's putting out every day. Did you see the one he keeps knocking the ball out of his kid's hand. His kid's walking around the house and he's got to secure the ball. He keeps jumping out and knocking the ball out. He's trying. He's trying to keep himself, in the news, and so and he's doing a good job of it. So it is what it is. But the Titans come in here with a coach that the players absolutely hate. So that should help us win. Now, there's another report out there that Shadeur is gaining the trust of the team. This comes from SportsIllustrated.com. And it is a reporter by the name of Thomas Gorski. But let's start here. Let's start with Shadeur talking about Kevin Stefanski, because I remember the other day they were asking him about him and his relationship with Kevin Stefanski. And one of the things that Shadeur did that showed leadership qualities is this. He said, "Look, I like being out there playing. So whatever comes with that, we are not going to point fingers at a coach or do anything like that." So why is that significant? Because he's saying, look, if I go out there and I perform, it'll be my job. If I go out there and I don't perform, the coach will make a decision. And it's that, the coach will do what's best for the team. That's what he's saying in not so many words. And so a lot of people took that as because he's always taking accountability, and a lot of people took those comments, him essentially standing up for his coach, as a signal that it's a young quarterback who's growing into a leadership role. And now let's get to what Mr. Gorski said, because in these couple of games, this is what he's hearing. He said Sanders stayed calm under pressure, made smart throws, protected the ball. On top of that, his leadership in the huddle suggested his teammates are starting to buy into him. Even though his stats don't jump off the page, they're saying that his decision-making and playmaking showed why the coaches are trusting him more each week. Now, I see that, and that's why, there's no going back. There's no, that's why, yesterday I talked about just say he's the guy already, just for his own psyche, and so he can stop worrying about, one errant pass costing him his job, which it's not. That's the thing. It's so dumb. I hate this way of coaching, man. This is not the way to coach, especially young players. They need to know they have your confidence, and it's the job is theirs. This week-to-week thing, man, it just doesn't work. So, his poise under pressure and his ability to make plays, man, and then the leadership he's showing. And you saw it in that first half, man, against San Francisco the other day. I mean, he was in command, in control, on time, on target. The plays they were in and out of the huddle. It was. And in the second half, we don't make any adjustments. We just keep trying to do the same thing over and over. You got to get the training wheels off of him already. Let's go. But I thought that was really interesting, Thomas Gorski of Sports Illustrated. The Browns start buying into Shadeur. I love it. That's what we need to do. Why is Stefanski the last one to realize this? Buy in already, Kevin. Let's go. We got our franchise quarterback. Now, always trust the viewer comments like we trust Shadeur. And we will start today with Cheryl Holder 3113, who says they need to turn Shadeur loose with receivers he trusts. Shadeur with receivers he trusts. Yes, I do think no matter what, they have to do the first part. Turn them loose. I do think that this is why I think you need to go away from Judy and just start developing Bond more, make Bond a big part of this offense along with Fannin, make those younger guys. Let's turn the corner. That's why I don't know why we hung on to David Njoku at the trading deadline, because he's not going to be here next year. I would even say Tillman, maybe you get him more involved. Let's turn this into the complete youth movement, because those are the guys he was throwing to in training camp. And we heard Stefanski say that. So, he worked out with the rookies all the time. So those would be the guys that I think he would trust the most, Cheryl. So good point. Don Hamilton, 4450. All Sanders needs to do to remain QB1 is keep making plays that the offensive coaching staff can't take him out of the lineup. The rest will take care of himself. That's true. And again, so we had the passes against the Raiders. We had the big pass to Fannin. You see that the playmaking ability. And here's what, when I was watching the Monday night game, I was watching Drake May, and I was just looking at him and then thinking to myself, could Shadeur be this? And 100% Shadeur could be this, because just watching him, the throws he makes, he does throw deep balls into tight windows. It's all the same, the difference is, they let him go. They trust him to make, a lot of times he has check downs or things, and he's going for the home run shot, and he hits it. So we have a guy. If you would just develop him, you got to stop this draft a quarterback talk. It's got to end. We've got our guy. Mr. Brownie God 2580 asks, I should say, are you going to talk about DG's fiance's comments? DG being Dylan Gabriel. And this came in during the live chat. And at the time, I was like, nah, I don't think it's worth it. Told him. I said, I just, But then I started thinking about it. And it's what is the point of her jumping on TikTok and saying, so it started with, she said, my fiance is not playing, and I have some words about that, and left it at that. And because she makes these videos like, get ready with me, she like gets dressed, I think, when she's going to the game, like to show you what she's wearing to the game. Maybe I should start doing that. Oh wait, I wear the same thing every day. I guess that wouldn't be, those videos probably wouldn't be so great. And so when she did that, then somebody, of course, people are railing on her in the comments, telling her, trying to explain to her how football works, how the NFL works, and 5'10" quarterbacks who are left-handed just are not successful in this league, and he already proved it. So I'm sure she wasn't happy about it. And then she claps back with this. Well, actually, everyone in the building wants him to play, but you wouldn't know that because you've never been in the NFL or been a coach, right? We don't have time for this. We really don't. Which is why I didn't want to talk about it. Yeah, she's got to stay off TikTok. We'll just leave it at that. It's just not that it's a distraction or it's going to be a distraction or anybody cares. Nobody cares. So the franchise has taken over. So just be like, he won't get hurt. Fiance, what's her name? Zoe Caswell. Think about it like that. He's safe now. He won't get hurt holding the clipboard. There you go. The Browns are doing him a favor. That's what I say. Soul Music with a Q, 69. Soul Music with a Q. That's a Q. Soul Music 69. Can a head coach quit? I think Kevin Stefanski wants out of Cleveland. But they won't fire him. So he's doing everything he can without making it obvious that he wants out of the Browns organization, in my observation, because nothing that he's doing is making any sense, and that's true. But here's the thing. Yes, he can quit, but he won't quit because I'm sure here's the thing. Okay, a couple of weird things here. I tried to do some digging on his contract, but you can't find any. This extension that I mentioned, him and Barry, I mentioned it a little earlier in this show. They signed him in June 2024, but the specific length and the financial terms were not publicly released. And if I'm wrong, I couldn't find it. So if somebody's got that, please throw it in the comments. But the reports indicate he's in the $4 to $6 million range. I don't care about that. But I'm sure it's the guaranteed money. If he quit, he'd probably lose it. He's not going to quit. Just like Watson. Watson's not going to quit because they got that contract. He's on. They're on the hook to pay him until that contract ends. And so he would wait for them to fire him. And then you see what these coaches get when they get fired. They get their money anyway. So why would he quit and not get the money? He's going to stay, get fired, and then take the money. So, look at what's his face at Penn State even. These college coaches. Franklin got $50 million when they fired him. Are you kidding me? Oh, to only be a head coach in the NFL and then just to get fired and then never have to work again. That would be great. We will end today on Blue Man Rule. I love it because it reminds me of Blue Man Group, who I've seen a couple of times. But I don't think they're around anymore. Are they still? Or did they just leave like Orlando or Chicago or something? Like the Blue Man Group. I do like the group. We took the kids, and then we got tickets, and then we went another time. They're very entertaining. The kids liked it. We saw them when they were in Orlando one time. They were at Universal or something, and we went and saw them because the boys liked it. But Blue Man Rule says, Grizzer, I think you mean Hakuna Matata. Thanks for your work that you put in. Can't wait to see the new Fit 11,000. Hakuna Matata. That's the beauty of me. I can't pronounce something. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. I was saying because that one, the YouTube handle that reminded me of Hakuna Matata. It sounded kind of like that. It was the way it was written, the YouTube handle. And so it is Hakuna Matata. So. There you go. You would think I would all the Disney show, all the stuff that my Tobin's been in. He's a character performer at Disney. You would think I would remember that one, the Lion King. But he's never been in Lion. He's never done Lion King. He's done a bunch of others. So there's videos of him. You can find them. Tobin. Yep. So very proud of Toby, what he's doing. All right, that's gonna do it for today's show. Okay, we got to dig in. I've already given you a couple reasons we're going to beat the crap out of the Tennessee Titans. One, they hate their coach. Two, they can't stop the pass. So got that going for us. And three, we have the best defense in the NFL going against a rookie quarterback. So I'll take my chances. So, but we'll find some more. We will find some more for you as the week goes on. All right, thanks for joining us today. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.